Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna dive into a topic that gets a lot of strong opinions, and that is tracing. Is it cheating? Is it ever okay to trace? And when does it become unethical, and can it actually help you improve your art? In this video we're gonna talk about why tracing can be harmful and even unethical, and what tracing teaches you and what it doesn't teach you. But also when and how tracing can be used in an honest and valid way, and how to use it responsibly, especially when you're still learning. While I talk, I'm going to show you a time lapse of one of my drawings so you don't need to stare at my head the entire time, so let's get into it. Let's start with the obvious. Tracing someone else's art or presenting it as your own is not okay. When you copy another artist's work line for line and claim that you made it, whether that's to get likes, commissions or praise, that's theft. And even if you don't sell it, it still disrespects the time, skill and creativity of the original artist. Unfortunately, this happens all the time online. People trace over fan art or illustrations and post them without credit. And in some cases, it can even lead to legal issues. So rule number 1, never trace someone else's work and pass it off as your own. If you're using another artist's work to study or learn from, keep it private. Don't post it like you made it from scratch. Every artist has a different opinion on this matter. So I just want to state that with my art, I don't mind that you trace, as long as you just don't claim it as your own and give credit where credit is due. However, I make many tutorials, so you don't even need to trace my art. You can draw along with me and learn how to draw creatures like that yourself. That said, tracing isn't automatically evil. It depends on your intention and what you do with it. If you're tracing as a learning tool, for example, to study anatomy or understand how a pose works, that's valid. But here's a big risk. You only benefit from tracing if you follow it up by drawing it freehand. Here's why. When you trace, your brain isn't solving any problems. You're just following existing lines. That might help your muscle memory a bit, but it doesn't teach you how to actually build forms or proportions from scratch. So if you're tracing a figure to study, try this. Trace it once to understand the flow or structure, then put the reference aside and redraw it from observation or even from memory. That's when the real learning starts. This might sound harsh, but it's true. From tracing, you learn tracing. You're not learning how to sketch, you're not learning proportions, you're not even learning how to fix mistakes, because when you trace, the lines are already correct. Think of it like riding a bike with training wheels. The wheels are there to prevent you from falling when you just start out, but if you would never take those training wheels off, you're never really learning how to balance. So if you want to grow as an artist, tracing can be part of your process, but it can never be the whole process. So what happens if you rely too much on tracing? You'll struggle to draw from imagination. You only trace the line art, but you didn't draw the anatomy. You haven't thought about the pose, the proportions, all of that was already there. You won't develop problem-solving skills in your drawing, because you're drawing something that already works. You're keeping yourself from learning from your mistakes. And if you want to improve as an artist, you should be able to identify the things that you need to study. And with tracing, you skip that very important part of the process. Your growth will plateau fast. Your art can only be as good as what you are tracing. Take away that source and you stand empty-handed. And it's even worse. It can make you feel like you're improving when you're actually not. Your traced art might look polished, but try to draw without a base and suddenly it's like starting from zero. You'll become frustrated because your drawings may look good, but you became used to skipping the bases. So you can't draw anything without tracing. And that's a tracing trap. To avoid it, always combine tracing with freehand sketching, observation drawing, and even timed drawing exercises. Use tracing only as a tool to explore or when you really need to save time. Okay, now we've gone through all the reasons not to trace, let's talk about the times when it's totally valid. When your focus is coloring and rendering. If your goal is to practice coloring, especially with markers, colored pencils or digital painting, Tracing can save time. If you're not trying to study structure or anatomy, but you're focusing on color theory, blending or rendering, and then it's totally valid to use a shortcut to that part that you need to practice. Another one is photorealism. In many photorealistic styles, tracing is used to get accurate proportions, because the focus is on surface detail, texture and realism. Many realism artists use tracing or grids to create an outline, because their main focus is not to make a sketch, but to recreate an image as realistic as possible. And as long as you're transparent about your process, that's completely okay. And tracing your own drawings. I do this all the time. I sketch something in my sketchbook, and when I like it, I trace it onto higher quality paper so I can color it properly. Or trace it in Photoshop and continue the sketch digitally. It's still my drawing, it just transferred to a different surface. What matters is honesty and context. If you traced, say you traced. But if it's your original drawing underneath, that's still your work, then you're just refining it. So to sum it up, tracing somebody else's art and calling it your own, not okay. Tracing as a way to learn, it can be helpful, but only if you also practice freehand drawing. And what do you learn from tracing? Not much. Only if you use it as a stepping stone. Relying on tracing only will stunt your growth, but tracing your own work or using it for coloring or photorealism, that's totally valid. Art is about growth and honesty. And if tracing is part of your process, just be transparent about that. But also don't let it replace the hard but rewarding work of learning how to draw for real. Thank you for watching, and if this video got you thinking differently about tracing, let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear your take on it. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to support this channel, the easiest way to do that is just watch another one of my videos. See you next time!